So, for example, Eurovo, it's a close relationship with the digital payment because we supply the POS. So for now, this year, you're not just the Nigeria people coming, right? So a lot of the other country people is coming too. So it will give us more chances to connect with them, expanding our business range. So I think it's very beneficial chances for Eurovo and also William to next year coming too.
Okay, so what would you think this can add to the digital economy of Nigeria?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. So, okay, that's very important. Also, I will be speaker of this of in later. So also I'm talking about. I think the digital payment very improve the digital Nigeria financial digitalized. So more and more smart POS into the Nigeria and give them more and modern chances to Nigerian market. So we are very happy to can support Nigeria become better and better. Yes, that's all. And another question?
Okay, your name again?
Okay.
Your name again? Your name?
Delia from Eurovo.
Okay, can you spell it or you have your card here?
Yes, I've got Delia. 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 Nice to meet you here. Thank
Yes, actually,
Your name first?
okay. Thank you very much. I'm Kevin from WiseCard, and we are one of the sponsors here for this digital expo. We have been it's the third year that we are here to do this show, and with the development of the digital payment for Nigeria, we have a very deep understanding about the trend for the payment, and also for us, we are expecting that we are not only helping, let's see, Nigeria to contribute for the build of this ecosystem, and also we are expecting that we are one of the leading partners for the development of this ecosystem, and we should be one of the leaders for this platform as well. Okay, thank you.
So I want to look at the importance of this event to Nigeria digital economy. What way do you think the Nigeria digital economy can benefit from events like this?
Okay, thank you. So basically, if we look at the track record for different period and different verticals of the payment ecosystem, the association or let's say the conference for different sectors is very important. That's why let's say even let's say for Wisecard, this kind of the company, we are trying to contribute more to this kind of the association, and this is the very big gathering for the companies and the consultant professionalism to contribute to this. We are expecting that by using this kind of the conference and the show in the future, the next generation or let's say the trend for this industry will be needed by this kind of the show. Okay.
Okay, so what is take-home message to tech providers, government agencies, regulators? What is the take-home message from here?
Okay, thank you. I think let's see for the payment industry, regulation is always the basement for this ecosystem, and for those tech companies and startups and also the consultancy, my suggestion is they should come here, watch and see, try to dive into this ecosystem and join them. Let's see for even let's see from Wisecard, what we are doing is we are trying to collaborate with the different sectors of this industry, no matter from central bank or from different banks or let's say different fintech companies. We should always try to collaborate with them, keep it open, look at the history, look at what we're doing, look at the future, so that in this way, I think we have a better future. Okay, thank you.
Finally, what would you say has been the challenge of digital trade and payments? What has been the challenge so far?
Okay, thank you. So I will say that there are 2 points that I want to address. Okay, the first one is the infrastructure. In Africa, or let's say in Nigeria, we have been trying very hard to develop the telco infrastructure and also the digital payment ecosystem. We have Visa, MasterCard, and also we have Verve and Afrigo. I believe this will be the basement for this ecosystem. This is number one. Number two is we need the talented people for this industry. The central bank and also the Minister of Education, I think we need to address more emphasis on these payments and technology-wise professionalism. And in the long run, if let's say more young, talented people in or outside Nigeria, that if they can contribute to this, it will be more flourishing. And I'm expecting that this will be a very much brighter future for all of us. Okay, thank you. All right. This is Kevin from Wisecard, and thank you very much. Okay, thanks.
Chelsea. Chelsea, yeah.
Just Chelsea what?
Chelsea Xu.
Maybe you give us the spelling afterwards. Okay, I want to talk about this program. How important do you think digital trade and payment is to Nigeria economy? Let's start with Nigeria economy.
Wow, that's a big question for me. I never think about that question before, so maybe I need to take few minutes, few seconds to think about it. You mean the digital economy? I think with the internet, the network technology development, it will help no matter which countries, all the countries all over the world, to facilitate and accelerate the economic.
Okay, so what has been the acceptance of digital payments? What has been the acceptance like? And what has been the challenges of digital payments?
The challenge of digital payments, I think the biggest limitation is the network. I mean the stable of network all over the countries and in the not only in the big cities but also in the remote villages. So if let's imagine if we have some network problems, the POS devices cannot work smoothly. So the payments will have some problems. So that's the biggest challenge.
Okay, let's talk about what we advise people to tech providers, government agencies, the regulators, all the message you could tell with regard to digital payments.
Maybe more law articles to help the digital payments develop. Thank you.
Maps, I didn't know the same.
So your role is group head of this thing.
Okay.
The organizers
The
thought,
subsidiary
okay,
of-
rather than just having a map.
Okay, my name is Mero. Please, Uncle, I can't really hear your question, so you have to be audible so that
Put your hands together for the organizing.
What is your name?
I'm gonna carry that mic that you're using inside.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
guess who I'm introducing?
Okay, my name is Tolokwe Obiao, and I am currently the group head of cooperations at Team Apps.
A man or a woman?
Okay, so
Now, this woman is not just
this
any
program
woman.
today,
But she is the deputy comptroller.
are you sure? We're going to take you out.
My name is Tolokwe Obiao, and I am currently the group head of cooperations at Team Apps.
So let's look at today's event, team beyond borders, digital trade and payments. And what would you think this event stand to tell government's intention of digitalizing the economy?
Well, first things first, I kind of think that beyond when the conversation around beyond borders goes beyond just geography, and as you rightly mentioned, government is probably one of the most important pieces in the puzzle. The borders can actually be created by government with the various requirements that are needed, especially for KYC purposes and whatnot. So it's really important that government knows how to find a way to centralize. We have some agencies already that have been created. We have PAPS, for example, that today the work is just to bring and synergize all of this payment infrastructure, payments platforms and whatnot together so that we can have a centralized system in Africa to make things a lot easier. Fundamentally, it's not just about the technology that is required. We now see today that government is very, very important in ensuring that even the technology that we have is able to scale, right? Scale from a place of, Warri today, and I need to take my products to Kigali, for example. If I am in Warri, I need to be able to cater to the requirements and regulations of Kigali. I need to take that into consideration before I even think of. So again, the borders are not just, I'm crossing across. I also need to think about the certifications that are needed to do business in another country. So again, beyond borders, um, do, is there like is there a thin line, or is there like is it a facade, for lack of a better way of putting it? Right now, a lot of businesses are struggling, right? Especially when it comes to the regulatory aspect of things. And I feel like that's where government really comes into play, to find a way where we can actually sit down and find what actually works for everyone, and find a platform that works for everyone, basically. Okay. Okay.
Under this visionary leadership of the Controller General, we have repositioned ourselves through pertinent reforms from paper-based processes to fully digitized declarations, biometric access, and real-time analytics. The recent implementation of the Unified Custom Management System, UCMS, called Budodo, marks a significant leap forward in custom automation and data analyzation. Nigerian Customs Service integration efforts span across public and private stakeholders, like the Central Bank of Nigeria, Access Bank had started using it, and some other banks in Nigeria, where you can make payments with local currency and get your goods from Senegal, Rwanda, Dakar, etc. NCS vision is to ensure that custom procedures are digitally compatible with such fintech innovation, making trade both faster and smarter. We are also venturing into advanced technologies such as geospatial intelligence, with artificial intelligence and predictive analytics. As mentioned by the Controller General at a recent joint Master Trainer program, our officers are now being trained to interpret satellite imagery, track high-risk trade routes, and predict smuggling trade. This is not mere digitization. It is the emergence of an intelligent custom ecosystem. Building Africa's digital future is mandatory, and so we must ensure that all border agencies work together on interoperable systems which will be guided by shared data standards such as the WCO data model and other United Nations recommendations, with the use of secure digital and inclusive payment platform to have a single digital African market, which I'm sure is one of the things the engagements we're having today and the next few days will bring out. Ladies and gentlemen, beyond borders is more than a team. It is a continental mandate. In this era, the measure of a nation's trade competitiveness will be defined not by size of the ports, but by the strength of its digital infrastructure and the agility of its regulatory ecosystem. The future belongs to those who build it. So I charge us, let us build a continent where digital connect trade becomes the standard and not the outlier, and where each border transforms from an obstacle into an opportunity to share prosperity. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. So if you've ever done an NIP, then you are using the NIPS rail. That's the service we provide. Ours is just to ensure and guarantee payments and continue to lower the cost. And we continue to improve that layer and, of course, working on identity, working closely with NIMSI, of course, being led and vision provided by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Standing here today, I'm standing as a very proud Nigerian. NIPS, over 32 years old, has pioneered a lot of things. The first, and I've said in different functions that there was nowhere to visit when NIPS was being put together. It was visioning. I refer to those who created that vision as ancestors. Today, a lot has been done and a lot of successful things created by this company that is completely unsung. I was in banking industry for 26, 28 years before I moved to NIBS. Until I got in there, I realized what it is.
But also empowers businesses with the liquidity they need to thrive in today's fast-paced economy. Nigeria's payment landscape is evolving, and Africa is leading the charge with instant settlement of POS transactions.
Africa is Nigeria's first domestic payment pass-through.
Okay, I mean, aside from the conversation around being an innovative company, there are other things that we're also taking into consideration to not just be an organization that does the norm around connectivity, right? Money Points as of today is thinking at a larger scale where they're thinking, okay, I'm not thinking about just Nigeria, I'm thinking about other countries. I'm thinking that if I'm doing a transaction in Nigeria, I don't need to be bothered about the infrastructure that would help me scale in another country, in another country, say, or in Kigali, for example. So largely, we're using the emerging technologies to evolve. Think having APIs, integrations that can actually connect across the borders with limited restrictions, as it were. We're also very big on compliance. We're very big on ensuring that KYC is done properly, just so that the infrastructure side of things, the government side of things, the regulatory side of things are also in check. I also think that we're also trying to ensure that beyond just building, the processes are also in place, the right processes to be able to power our products and power our services across the borders. I built a product, but I also need the processes to manage that product, to ensure that there's no fraud, to ensure that customer success is top notch, to ensure that everyone is satisfied, for lack of a better way of putting it, right? So I think those are one of the things that we're contributing to the market, and we're coming with our best foot forward.
Welcome to the future of payments in Nigeria, where transactions are no longer delayed and merchants receive their funds instantly.
Okay, for service providers, I think that we shouldn't just build, we should build and think about scaling, right? Build for scale, largely. For regulatory bodies, I think that we need to be more flexible to also recognize that the current payment system is expanding and is scaling fast. And we need to start thinking about how we can work together, collaboration largely, ensuring that we're not just thinking about our pockets, we're not just thinking about our market share, we're thinking, okay, yes, there's market share, but then again, how do we come together to make this money together, or how do we come together to ensure that we actually deliver services, right? And to the final person, which is the last person, I'm asking you, the last person. You said government providers and regulators. I think I pretty much covered both. So essentially, we build to scale, and we also ensure that we're collaborating in this ecosystem of ours.
Finally, it's more or less like a digital pay platform to block we are now. Everybody thinks towards digital payments now. Of course, it was difficult for people to look at digital payment platform. Yes, I know when we're enjoying it. Having our phone now. What are those challenges associated with payment platforms?
Okay, I touched base on processes before. again, we can build a fantastic product, but at the end of the day, if we don't have the right processes to manage those products, the products eventually will fail, right? So today we are more concerned. We should be more concerned about how we would use those the processes to manage our products. Again, process discipline essentially helps you scale better. So it's not just about scaling fast. It's also about scaling and being there and to sustaining the scale as well. So I think largely one of the problems that we face or users have faced essentially are around, there's fraud, there's little or no customer success or satisfaction, as it were. These are operational issues, and I feel that process discipline essentially can help to curb those issues. My name is Tolulope Obiaun, and I am the group head of co-operations at TeamApt. Well, a subsidiary of MoneyPoint, yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ojo. I'm the CEO of RegTech Limited, a fintech company focused on innovative digital payment solutions. We're very focused on customer service delivery. We believe in advancement year on year in the experience of our customers with regards to e-payment. So far, our mission is to ensure that the confidence of customers, particularly in Nigeria and the rest of Africa, never diminishes. When we travel to the western region of the world, we realize that the success rate of e-payment solutions is quite impressive. And historically, we've also seen and observed complaints and dissatisfaction expressed by customers in our environment. So we are focused on ensuring that the uptime availability of e-payment systems as we deliver it and design it, and also the success rate is over 100%, ensuring that the confidence of our customers remains at a high altitude. We are also focused in driving innovative solutions through the density of our youths in Nigeria and in Africa. The projected demography of the youth population in Africa is expected to be at the highest by year 2030. We believe that this will be a defining moment for the continent of Africa, particularly with the adoption of fintech solutions. As you know, in our country, Nigeria, our population is one of the highest in Africa. So if they say that statistically in year 2020 that Africa will have the highest population of youths, then you can imagine what that impact will be in Nigeria. Last year, the contribution of fintech to the GDP of Nigeria was about 19%, approximately. And that is to say that in year 2020, you should expect quite much more contribution to the GDP. To break that down, in terms of macroeconomics, what that means is that the foreign investment increased significantly into the continent. Looking at remittances as a part of fintech, about $54 billion came into the African continent, and about 22 billion of that came into Nigeria as a country. What that does is that it fuels employment, it fuels businesses, it fuels SME operations in Nigeria and in the continent of Africa. Also, it fuels the development of innovative ideas. You might have an idea, but if you don't have the cash to execute, it becomes a challenge. With the direct investment from the Western world into the African continent, obviously Africa will thrive in its involvement. We are excited about this moment in history. We're excited because as a continent and as a country, we've always been a very consuming country, but now it's changing. In the last decade or so, it's been changing. Nigeria was rated as one of the first 7 countries to experience real-time payments. And now you have about 30 countries or more now experiencing real-time payment. When I say Nigeria is one of the 7 in the world, not in the African continent, That's a big deal, which is instant payment. When instant payment came out in Nigeria, it was P2P transfers between people through the web services. Now, as I'm seeing and I'm hearing at the background as well, instant payment is being experienced by merchants in terms of retail transactions that happens on POS devices. This is a great advancement in Nigeria. Again, through Fintech, Fintech has been able to contribute to the reduction of unemployment in Nigeria. How do I mean? In terms of an aspect called agency banking services. Through agency banking services, poverty is being alleviated for people below the pyramid. By being empowered by POS devices, they're able to do what is called cash-in, cash-out transaction, essentially what the regulator or the Apex Bank, Central Bank of Nigeria, regards as financial inclusion. Financial inclusion is the ability for underserved segments of the economy to experience financial services in terms of lending services, in terms of instant funds transfer services, in terms of merchant services, in terms of insurance as well. You buy things, you purchase things, but people have this tendency to believe that insurance should only come at premium commodities. But now you have micro-insurance services as well. So I can go on and on in terms of the impact of fintech. Another thing that we're very proud of as a continent, as a country, is that our continent has about over 7 unicorn fintechs. Unicorn means over $1 billion valuation. In Nigeria, we have about 3 unicorn companies. That's a great advancement. In the whole of Africa, we have the highest number of unicorn countries. And I dare say that they should watch out for RedTech. We are going to be the next unicorn to be announced in a short time. Thank you very much.
The total gross that you need in a day is 100,000. But they have to go past today. What it means is that you can immediately have immediate credit on the bill and go back to the market. Therefore, ensuring that you're able to turn around your capital as many times as possible. This is significant for us. But for Nigeria, is significant for ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there are things that I can talk about, and there are things that I might not be able to address. But starting with things that I can talk about, I think there's a great advancement, and I must applaud the Afrexim Bank for the initiative of establishing PAPS. PAPS is an entity that has designed the means by which African countries can facilitate regional trade across countries. Before now, if I have to do an inter-trade between Nigeria and Ghana, I will have to facilitate my payment through a platform called SWIFT, meaning that my payment goes to the United States of America before coming back to Ghana. With PAPS, I can instantly transfer my money from Nigeria to Ghana, and then the merchant receives the payment. That's a great advancement, and that's a great applause to Afrexim Bank. I can dare say that as RedTech, we wish to promote and embrace this initiative, whereby we will plug some of our e-payments channel solutions to the PAPS infrastructure. Already, we've done this strategically through our sister company, United Bank of Africa. We believe that it is time for Africa to evolve. It is time for Africa to stop being a consuming continent. It's time for Africa to export its intellect through its greatest asset, which is its populace in Africa. I dare say that it's a proud moment for me to be a part of this industry. Thank you. My name is Emmanuel Ojo. I'm the CEO, MD of RedTech Limited. Thank you very much.
My name is Dr. Andy Wabali. I'm the Managing Director, IRCMS Limited. We're a payment facilitator. We play. Yes, it will help very much. It will build the ground. It will build momentum and build a lot of, bring a lot of awareness to the payment ecosystem in Nigeria. The federal government wants to build our economy to be a $1 trillion economy. There is no way we can do it without digitalizing our payment system. And once we do that, if we can take the lead, Nigeria, with the size of Nigerian economy in Africa, if we can take the lead and start that with in conjunction with what Afro-Exim Bank is doing and the Continental Free Trade Agreement of the African Union, Nigerian economy will blossom. Yes, the Nigerian payment ecosystem will help very much. If you see, we have already started. We have the AfriGo card, which we have started. Unlike what we have, the Mastercard and all those ones. The AfriGo card is a Nigerian initiative of NIPS, and once that is kickstarted, since it started, we'll be able to do a lot within the ecosystem. Don't forget, because of the role Nigeria play, the central role Nigeria play in the economy of Africa. Nigeria is the second largest economy in Africa, the largest economy in West Africa and in Central Africa. You see, if you go around the continent of Africa, you will see a lot of Nigerian goods and Nigerian products on the shelves of the supermarkets in all of Africa. So, if we deepen our digital payment system, you will see it will have an overall effect with the support of what Afro-Exim is doing and the African Free Trade Commission is doing of the African Union. The take home here is that for government agencies, especially government agencies, to know that the era of digitalization is here. We have to digitalize every payment system, all of our payment system, collections, everything should be digitalized. Even the common man in the street should know that the era of digital payment, digitalization is here and is going to stay. Every day you see AI bringing new things in the payment ecosystem. A lot of new things are coming up. We cannot continue to be backward. We have to go with the world. As a matter of fact, Nigeria has made a lot of progress in terms of digitalization of payments.
So finally, what do you see as a challenge towards achieving this aim? And do you think there's a solution to cope up with that?
The major challenge is enlightenment. We have to enlighten the people. In fact, the people are ready to meet up with the challenge. Is the card payment system in the villages, in the rural areas? You see everybody uses card payment. You see the POS system coming in. If government should continue to encourage the cashless system. It's very important that government should encourage the cashless system. The cashless system, once the digital system, we digitalize payment, we'll be able to curb a lot of things, inflation and all the economic problems will be resolved because money supply will be reduced. We won't be dealing with much of cash. CBN, the central bank, will be able to control inflation using digital payments system. Dr. Andy Wabali, Managing Director, IRCMS Limited.
Am I told? Yeah. You are starting almost already, and with. Okay, my name is Ike Odiase. I'm the head of partnership at OP Digital Services Limited.
Okay, let's talk about the service that OP renders. Tell us about it and how it has covered the people.
Yeah, well, OP is a licensed CBN licensed mobile money operator. We've been around since 2008, and today we are the leading payment platform in Nigeria, providing seamless payment services to Nigerians, fast, reliable service. Today we are the trusted brand for many Nigerians today, as you are all aware.
This program is beyond borders, digital trade and payments. So when we look at how Pay as a company, alongside other fintechs, actually improves African trade. These are these continental trade. How can you see this as a company, the fintech has improved both digital and trade across Africa or intra-Africa?
Yeah, well, so OPE is here partnering with the Digital Expo team based on the theme for this year's event, which is digital trade and payments beyond borders. For there to be digital trade and payments, there have to be a reliable payment platform driven by advanced technology, which is what OPE is all about. At OPE today, we are promoting our security features, giving more comfort to our users, our customers, and all our stakeholders. And security in today's world of payment is very, very, very important. That is what we drive, and even going to go beyond borders as the team speaks for this year's event. So at OPE, we're happy to partner with Digital Expo to showcase our technology solutions around fraud, cybersecurity, and AI that we've developed to give our customers so much confidence. I'm Ike Odiase, as I mentioned, the head of partnership at OPE. Thank you.
What's the question that I'm answering? Don't ask me good questions.
For record purpose, your name, sir?
My name is Olada Kwadiosho.
And your definition, what would you like to address?
Just call me Dakpo. Dakpo. I'm the country managing director for BPC. BPC AG. BPC is an OEM, a software solution provider. We've been in existence for about 30 years. Today we're in over 150 countries, powering the switches of central banks of about the same number, 150 countries. Central switch. Nigeria has a central switch, which is SNIPS. So we also power central switches of several countries of the world across, and we are across the whole globe, from the Middle East to Africa, to Asia. We're everywhere. Basically, what we do, and I'll liken BPC to the engine of your Boeing engine that carries your plane. We are basically the engine that powers the ecosystem across the globe, from the card rails to the switches to the payment, instant payment, and we have a very robust and fantastic fraud management solution, which today is also being used by several entities in Nigeria today. We're in Nigeria now. We've been in Nigeria now for about 4 years. We're coming in because, and I was brought in at some point because I understand this system. I've been in the payment system now for about 15 years. And some of the things I want to do is to help the system with stability. There are legacy systems that today needs to be changed across, a lot of things that we're talking about innovation. You can't innovate on some of the existing systems, because it's like the Bible says, a new wine in an old bottle. So we need to work with our partners, with clients, with the entire ecosystem to have the digitally ready platforms that will deliver the solutions that we want. And the experience particularly needs to be top-notch. And that is why we're here.
Okay, sir. Can we look at digital trade and payments?
Okay.
Fintech has come to stay.
Definitely.
It's come to stay. So what you look at the government, the service service providers like yourself, the regulatory bodies, what do you take home from this event?
The take home from this event is there is something we call co-relationship. All of these entities that you've mentioned, players, must work together to make this happen. Nobody can do it in silos. There is a part that the regulators need to play. There is a part that the players need to play. The banks and the fintech need to play. But in all of this, we need to put standards. Do you understand? We need to have standards, and we need to have interoperability that is seamless. And somebody used an example earlier. The same way you are able to send money today to somebody in Idumota, I should also be able to send money to somebody in Ghana in the same manner, because trade has become one blood. That's the reality. The trade has become one nation. The world of trade is now one nation. And so in the one nation trade, then you must have a seamless transaction digitalized process.
So let's look at Africa trade.
Okay. So what we used to have was silos of transactions. Now you have several fintechs within the globe. I don't want to start mentioning names, but what the fintechs have been able to do, working with other banks and other players, is that they've made seamless to an extent inter-African trade. Now, what used to take you so long, we're now able to do it. You have easy flow of remittances and vice versa. You have and let's take a typical example of somebody who has a child outside the shore of Nigeria, maybe schooling, let's assume in Cote d'Ivoire. That is a remittance. Let's look at me buying wares from, let's assume, Cote d'Ivoire. Those are some of the things that this has been able to do, is make seamless the transfer of value in currencies without necessarily dollarizing our transactions. And that's what this has enabled. So inter-African trade has become more seamless, but the journey is we're still just at the early stage. What we're looking at is a possibility where the experience becomes a nationalized experience, the same one we have today when you are doing a local transaction. A local transaction actually should not be different from a foreign transaction, because they are basically just doing transfer. I'm basically sending money through phone, and for as long as you have a mobile phone, you should be able to exchange value. My name is Akwadi Oshun. I work for BPC. I'm the managing director of BPC AG. Thank you very much for having me.
My company is Kotari Builders. It's not a fintech, it's a community building company. We help startups and SMEs build communities. So I'm here because I'm a venture builder and an ecosystem player in the Nigerian tech ecosystem. And I wanted to understand, currently the payments sector players. You have a lot of banks, fintechs, neobanks, ecosystem players, infrastructure companies who power fintechs and power banks in Nigeria and in Africa. And I wanted to understand what's currently happening in the sector, and what is the current innovation edge, and what are the new things coming up that we should pay attention to, because I like to stay updated on what's going on in the ecosystem.
Okay, so what you have had here today, what is the takeaway for governments, agencies, players like you, tech providers, and basically regulatory bodies? What is the takeaway?
So I think that this conference has been a melting point of everyone along the ecosystem to connect, right? So you said from regulatory to the players, the fintech or bank players, to the ecosystem tech companies, hardware and software companies, to the users, to just the enthusiasts in the ecosystem. I would say the biggest takeaway is that there needs to be more collaboration among players within the ecosystem. A lot of times you see a lot of competition, people trying to compete against each other, but there needs to be more collaboration in terms of products that we co-create or features, softwares that we use together to make each other better, because it's when we work together that we can build a bigger and better ecosystem.
Fintech, digital payment platforms has helped in developing African trade.
I think it's really helped. I think it's really helped technology to be mobile. Before now, if you wanted to play in financial technology, you had to have physical physical infrastructure inside each country. Today, you can be based in Nigeria and serve 25 countries, right? Even though fintech, and the commercial and the financial sector is a highly regulated sector, right? But with technology powering their products and services, they are able to reach into countries virtually without having physical presence in those countries. I think that has really helped to businesses grow and scale faster than what we could have achieved 10 years ago. So I would say that financial technology has enabled intra-Africa trade. It's very good, it's healthy. The customers win. Because when competition comes into a space, it means that people are competing to create better products at the most affordable price ranges, and so that they get the best customers. And customers can pick among a wide range of very good players and pick the best, service provider for them. So I think competition is good. And I think that the government has been able to provide good regulation to ensure that players who have the requirements can get into the sector and deliver a solution. So there's no monopoly, there's no special cabal of people that only can do this. If you have the requirement today, you can be a fintech player, you can play across any form of the fintech or banking services in Nigeria today. So I would like to commend CBN and all the other regulatory bodies for providing that access to